This is my video of my secondary sketchbook for 3.1 Practice and Research. I have started off with the biggest of the themes, titled Dyslexia. This also makes connection with my own diagnosis that took place in the summer of 2021. And so for my level 3, I wanted to research this topic a little bit further so that it would enhance and give me more knowledge and more learning. So what I've done is with the sketchbook, I've started off with some visual words, quite in-depth, quite broad research of the subject matter. And I think it was important to compile this research so that it was, or is becoming, particularly visual. And what I've started to do is, because there is a broad spectrum of research to do, I've gone in and investigated meanings, various areas, and so forth. It was agreed with my tutor that this would be an initial large amount of work to be carried out. So as I've ploughed through and sifted through the information, I've started off with some earlier notes, as we can see through here, and then I've continued breaking down, working with mind maps that I consider to be quite a strong element of my work, breaking things down and isolating and putting them into boxes so that I've got points of reference. These mind maps are working particularly well. There's a lot of connections starting to come through, and lots of areas starting to open up. And I think there are going to be quite a few connections because I'm looking at new materials, traditional materials, which I'm working on at the moment, which will lead into the scientific areas and so forth, education, and also as well people's personal stories. I found a particularly interesting article, and it was sort of people were getting to degree level and MA level, and this is where their diagnosis had been sort of taken place, really, with their struggles with dissertations and academic writing. So I'm building up a relatively, if not a considerable, large portfolio, making connections as well with my own approach, working with these mood boards, stroke mind maps with words, and pulling in lots of research from dyslexic art, dyslexic education, people's personal statements, and I am going to continue to build upon this. I think I am really going to continue with this as the main theme through 3.1 Practice and Research, and I've started to respond with my textiles. Some of the responses are quite simple, some of them a little bit more complicated. I've also realised that I can make connections also as well with some older work from contemporary context, contemporary practice, ideas and processes. So I've pulled those elements in and reworked a few samples. And so far I'm kind of building up a little bit more confidence. And I think the one thing that's going to be quite important to bring on board are a little bit more emotions and so forth with the topic and the theme, to actually, from my learning processes, to actually, it's made me realise I'm starting to make connections with my own personal difficulties, and I think this will be quite a good way of responding to my textiles and making the work more emotional.